What I'd like to do is give everybody a little bit of information as far as you want to get started line dancing, you need to know some basic steps. And the basic steps, what we use the most in most of these line dances that we're doing today are things like vines or grapevines. We do coaster steps, we do sailor steps, we do step locks, things of that nature. And when a beginner walks into a class, it's very overwhelming. So what I'd like to do is show you some of the real basic steps that we do. The grapevine or the vine, and I'm going to turn my back to you for this so that you can practice this while watching it, is if we're doing a vine to the right, what you're doing is you're stepping to the right, you're stepping behind, to the side, and you're going to touch. If you're going to the left, you're going to step left, behind, side, touch. You want to get comfortable doing this step. I mean, it's a step that is used in so many dances, so you can go, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One of the most popular dances of all time was electric slide, and that's the way it started. Vine to the right, vine to the left. The other thing that we use a lot of is we use a lot of what we call a shuffle step. And what a shuffle step is if we're going forward with the right on the shuffle, you're going to step right together right. It will actually be normally 3 steps and 2 counts. So if we're going to do it, it'll be 1 and 2, or left, 3 and 4. Going to the right, 1 and 2. 3 and 4. I've heard them called chassés, shuffle steps. There's several different names for them. If we're doing it to the right or to the left, you're going to go side together side or side together side. But as I said, it's usually 3 steps and 2 counts. So if we're going to the side, it's side together side, side together side, forward, forward, and forward. You can do it going backwards, backwards, and backwards. Shuffle steps. So we've got vines, grapevines, and we've got shuffle steps. Now, another step that we use a lot in dances that we do is we do coaster steps. And what a coaster step is, and I'm going to do this from the side angle, is you're stepping, if we're doing a right-footed coaster, you're stepping back, you're coming together with the left, and you're stepping forward. Or if you're doing a left-footed, it's back, together, forward. Again, with the right foot, it's back, together, forward, or the left foot, back, together, forward. This again is usually a step that is done 3 steps and 2 counts, using the and count. So you're stepping back, you're doing 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. That's a coaster step. The other thing that we use a lot is a sailor step. A sailor step, I always think of Shirley Temple and Buddy Ebsen in the days of those movies. Kind of dating myself, but what they would do is they would do a sailor step, and you would step behind to the side together, behind to the side together. Again, that is another step that is done 3 movements and 2 counts. So we're doing 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Sailor steps. Another step that we use a lot is a step lock. And what a step lock is very similar to that shuffle step. The only difference is you're going to lock the second foot behind the first. So you're going to step forward, you're going to lock, and you're going to step forward. Or you're going to step forward, you're going to lock, and you're going to step forward. That's a lock step. These are all little steps that will help when it comes to learning how to dance line dancing or step dancing, whatever you want to call it nowadays. The other thing that you want to remember is that when you're taking instruction or somebody's telling you about a dance, you'll hear them say touch. And what that means is if we're doing a step where we're stepping to the side and we're coming over to this side and you're just touching, what that means is touch with that foot, leave the weight on the other foot. That's one of the little things that comes in handy. Some of us instructors like to call the steps out. If you can understand what we're telling you when we say touch, that means don't transfer weight. Another dance move that we use a lot in our style of dancing is we use a kickball change. What a kickball change is if you're kicking with the foot, I'll keep facing this direction. What you're going to do is you're going to kick with that foot. If it's the right foot, you're going to kick, you're going to come down on the ball of the foot, and you're going to change weight. So it's a kickball change. Object's not to kick as high as you can unless you're in a Zumba class. What you're going to do is you're going to go kick, ball, change. Or with the left foot, kick, ball, change. These are, again, steps that are used in so many of the dances that we do. Simple little things like swivel turns, pivot turns. What we're doing is if we're doing a half turn where we're swiveling, let's say to the left, you would step forward on the right, you would raise on the ball of your feet, and you would turn. When you make that turn, you're going to place the weight back on the foot, the left foot, for example. So if you're stepping forward with the right, you're turning, you're coming down on the left when you make that turn. Pivot turns. If I was dancing and I were to dance forward with a shuffle with the left, and I were to do a pivot turn to the left, I would step forward on the right, and I would pivot and make my turn to the left. That's a pivot turn. You're stepping and you're pushing. You'll notice it's done on one foot rather than two, like a swivel turn was done. Heel hitches, things of that nature that are common in quite a few of them. All we're doing is we're taking the heel of our foot and we're hitching it. That's a heel hitch. And I think that's about it. Get you some very basic moves for the beginning line dance person.